Hello, my little learners. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, and this is our math lesson for today. So let's get to counting.
You want to count to 100?
Yeah! Count, 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 count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Count, 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 count.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
20. Count, count, count.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
30. Count, count, count.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39,
40. Count, count, count.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49,
50. Count, count, count.
51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59,
60. Count, count, count.
61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69,
70. Count, count, count.
71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79,
80. Count, 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 count.
81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89,
90. Count, count, count.
91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99.
Okay, so we made it to 100. Now let's move on to this week's math lesson. We're going to be learning about patterns and repeating patterns and the type of different patterns that you will be using when you move on to the next grade. And here's our robot video.
What shapes do you see? You see circles and octagons. Can you see a pattern? The circle and octagon repeat over and over. Say the name of each shape. Circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle. Think about the repeating pattern. What shape do you think comes next?
So here, this pattern, and we learned in school that a pattern does what? It repeats itself over and over and over and over. So here in this pattern, we have a circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle. What do you think would come next? Another circle or the octagon? Let's find out.
The octagon comes next. How can you tell? The shapes repeat. The last shape is a circle, so the next one has to be an octagon. Say the name of the shapes. See how the octagon continues the pattern. Circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle, octagon, circle, octagon. Now you know how to describe a pattern and decide what comes next.
Nice work!
Okay, let's move on to our workbooks. All right, so for today's lesson of learning patterns, we're going to be learning about the 1, 2 pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2. So in this pattern, we have the numbers 1 and 2 repeating themselves. So first it's 1, then it's 2, then it's 1, then it's 2, yep, then it's 1, next is 2, and what is going to come after this 2? How do we follow this pattern? What's going to come next? A 1. A 1 will come next. Good. So this pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now let's look down at this shapes pattern that we have here. Looks like we're using 2 different shapes. So here we're using what shapes? Triangles, yep. And here we're using square. So this pattern is triangle, triangle, square. Triangle, triangle, square. So what would come next after the square? A triangle, and then another triangle. So our pattern that repeats itself over and over and over is 2 triangles, then a square. Then 2 triangles, then a square, then 2 triangles, then a square. What would come next if we wanted to keep going? 2 triangles, yes. So again, it's 2 triangles, triangle, triangle, square. Triangle, triangle, square. Triangle, triangle, square. Good. Patterns are easy peasy for my little learners. Next page. Okay, our next repeating pattern. This is the same as we saw in our robot video. Now let's see what we've got going on down here. What shapes are in this pattern that we're repeating? We have, what shapes are these? Circles, yep. And what shape are these? Rectangles. So our pattern shapes are circles and rectangles. Now let's talk about the repeating pattern that happens. So we have circle, circle, rectangle, rectangle. Then we have circle, circle, rectangle, rectangle. Then we have circle, circle, rectangle, rectangle. Which shape will come next after the rectangle? And you can always go back and check your pattern to make sure that you're following the right pattern. So here we have rectangle, rectangle. So let me go back and look at my pattern. Rectangle, rectangle. What's going to come next? The circle. Good. So this pattern is 2 circles, 2 rectangles. 2 circles, 2 rectangles. 2 circles, 2 rectangles. And then what's going to come next? 2 circles. Yes, good job. Okay, next page. Okay, so now it looks like we're using some numbers for our pattern instead of shapes, because all of these shapes are the same, but the numbers change. So what numbers are we using in this pattern? We have the number 5 and we have the number 6. Yes, and they're all 5s and 6s, right? All right, let's check how this pattern repeats itself. We have 5, 6, then we have 5, then 6, then we have 5, then 6, then we have 5. What's going to come after our 5? What comes next? I can't hear you. Say it a little louder. 6? Let's check our pattern to be sure that we're right. Here's a 5, and then what comes next? A 6, yep. Then here's a 5, and you guys said what comes next after the 5? The 6. So the 6 would follow this 5. Good. I want to talk about something else that you may hear in your next grade when they talk about patterns. Now, in our book, it talked about a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 pattern. but you may also hear it referred to as an A-B pattern, where one shape is the A and one shape is the B. And that's just when a pattern just goes back and forth alternating. So AB, 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 AB. So if your next teacher says, I want you to create a pattern using AB pattern, that just means that they want it to alternate AB, AB, AB. Let's say this heart was my A and this smiley face was my B. So if your next teacher says they want you to create a pattern that is AB, that means that there's only going to be two choices of objects, the A object and the B object. So for this pattern here, I have my heart as my A object and I have my smiley face as my B object. And if I'm going to listen to my teacher and follow the AB pattern, I'm going to alternate my heart and my smiley. So I have heart, then I have smiley, then I have heart, then I have smiley, next I have heart, next would be smiley, yep, then I would have heart, and then I would have smiley. That follows my AB, 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 AB pattern. It's just two different objects and they alternate. First is the A pattern or object, then it's the B object. So here, let's say your next teacher gives you some shapes and they want you to finish the A-B pattern. So here for my A, it would be what shape? It would be this square, this blue square. For my B object, it would be what? This pink triangle. So if I'm going to follow my A-B pattern, I have square, triangle, square, triangle. What's going to come next after my triangle? Check my pattern again. You can always go back to check what comes after the triangle. So here's a triangle. What would come next? Yes, this blue square. So I'm going to place my blue square next. Now I'm still following the AB pattern. So it's just two objects and they're alternating. So what comes after this blue square? Check your pattern. Blue square, then pink triangle. Blue square, then pink triangle. So what comes after my blue square? A pink triangle. Yes, and that's my AB, AB, AB pattern. So your next teacher, they may not say it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 pattern. They might say it's an AB, AB pattern. And then you'll know that it's just two different objects alternating. First it's the A object, then it's the B object. Then it's the A object, then it's the B object. So that's one type of pattern, the AB pattern. All right, let's go back to our workbook. All right, now we're doing another pattern with some shapes. Here we are using some three-dimensional or 3D shapes. What are these two shapes? Those are cylinders, yes. And what shape is this? That's a cube. Let's check our pattern. We have cylinder, cylinder, cube. Cylinder, cylinder, cube. Cylinder, cylinder, cube. What will come next? A cube or a cylinder? Let's check our pattern. So here we ended at a cube. Let's check our pattern. Here we have cube. So what will come next? Cylinder. And then what will come next again? Cylinder. So after this cube here comes the cylinder. How many times? 2 times. So we have 2 cylinders, 1 cube. 2 cylinders, 1 cube. 2 cylinders, 1 cube. And then 2 cylinders. Yes. Okay, next page. Okay, we have a numbers pattern here. We're using the number 7 and the number 2. Now let's check our pattern. 7, 7, 2. Yep. 7, 7, 2. 7, 7, 2, 7. What comes next? Let's check our pattern to see. We stopped at 1, 7. So here's 1, 7. What comes after that 1, 7? The next 7. So we have 2, 7, 7. Yes. So our pattern is 2 7s and then a 2. 2 7s and then a 2. 2 7s and then a 2. And then 2 7s and a 2. Good. Okay, let's go down to this next one, number 6 in the mug. Looks like we're using some shapes for this pattern. What shape is this? This is a rectangle, and we are also using what shapes? Triangles. All right, let's check our pattern. Rectangle, triangle, triangle. Rectangle, triangle, triangle. Rectangle, triangle, triangle. What's going to come next? You can go back to your pattern to see, because here we have triangle, triangle, then rectangle is going to come next. Yes. So we have one rectangle, then 2 triangles. One rectangle, then 2 triangles. One rectangle, and then 2 triangles. All right, let's go to the last one on this page. Looks like it's a soccer ball and a can of cherries. Now, this is the type of pattern I taught you about here. AB pattern, where it's just 2 different objects and they alternate. So this is just 2 objects and they alternate. So first we have a soccer ball, then a can of cherries. Soccer ball, cherries. Soccer ball, cherries. Soccer ball, cherries. What's coming next? Check your pattern to see. We ended on cherries, so let's check what comes after cherries. Soccer ball. Yes, our soccer ball will come next. Again, this is an example of our A-B pattern. The soccer ball would be A, the cherries would be B. A, soccer ball, B, cherries. 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 Okay, let's check out our last one on this page. All right, looks like we're using some dots. The first dots is 3. The next one is 2. The next one is 4. Then we're back to 3. Then 2. Then 4. Then our pattern is repeating itself again. 3, 2, 4. 3. What dots will come next? Check your pattern to see. It's 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2. Yes, 2 and then 4. So our pattern goes 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. So again, a pattern is just something that repeats itself. What? Over and over and over again. Good job. All right. Now we're going to close this lesson with a coins video. We were learning about money before we left school. So this week we're going to have some review videos on our coins and how much money they're worth. And you might remember this one from class. And here we go. I'm going to rewind it. And here we go.
We jingle and we jangle, you see us all around. In a piggy bank or pocket, or even on the ground. We come in different sizes, we do not look the same. I wonder if you know each of the 4 of us by name. 4 I'm a President Lincoln penny, a coin that is worth 1 cent. When you save a lot of us, together we can be well spent.
I'm a shiny 5-cent nickel. President Jefferson is who you see. If you give someone 5 pennies, you'll get back 1 of me.
We jingle and we jangle, you see us all around, in a piggy bank or pocket, or even on the ground. We come in different sizes, we do not look the same. I wonder if you know each of the 4 of us by name.
I'm a very thin little dime with President Roosevelt's face. If you have 2 nickels or 10 pennies, then
They can take my place.
I'm a shiny George Washington quarter, the largest coin of the 4. I equal 1 nickel and 2 dimes, worth 25 cents at the store.
We jingle and we jangle, you see us all around, in a piggy bank or pocket, or even on the ground. We come in different sizes, we do not look the same. I wonder if you know each of the 4 of us by name. We jingle and we jangle, watch for us all around. Sometimes we are lost, but we are also often found. Now you know each coin by name, by value, and by face. Make sure to save us up and keep us in a safe place. Keep us in a safe place.
Okay, so that was our coins video. Let's go back and review. Alright, so this brown one, the first one, that's our penny, and that's worth how many cents? 1 cent. Then we have our nickel, which is worth 5 cents. Next we have our dime, which is 10 cents. And then we have our quarter, which is 25 cents. One more time, we have a penny, which is worth 1 cent, a nickel, which is 5 cents, a dime, which is 10 cents, and a quarter, which is 25 cents. All right, awesome job today. So that brings us to the end of our math lesson for Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. And I want to send my shout outs to Jada Lynn, Peyton, Emily, and Andrew. Again, I miss everyone and I hope everyone is doing awesome. And I also hope you had a great weekend. All right, my little learners, till our next video. Bye.